Alright, welcome back to a new episode on the Crossbar channel. Today we are talking Premier League action. We had Arsenal playing today, also Manchester City. The neck and neck continues. Man United, who's the third horse, did not play because they play, I believe, the cup final this Sunday against Newcastle. So we're going to focus on those two games. Also touch on La Liga since we had some action in Madrid between Real Madrid and Atletico Madrid. Also in France, le classique is this Sunday. Marseille is facing Paris Saint-Germain. So we're going to do a quick preview of that game. So yeah, that's going to be the fil rouge, so to speak, of this video. And without further ado, let's roll. All right, let's start with the first game. That was Leicester City was hosting Arsenal. That was not really a memorable game, but Arsenal did what they were supposed to do. They had the victory 1-0. Gabriele Martinelli scored right after halftime, like literally right after halftime. I think it was the 46th minute. 1-0 for Arsenal. They hung in there. Leicester City, unfortunately, only woke up mid-second half. I'm going to be nice. It was more so toward the end, but let's say mid-second half to start giving Arsenal something to think about. But it was not enough to overturn the result. Arsenal was the better team. They had a lot of possession, especially in the first half. It was almost Barcelona-esque, the way they were passing the ball, kind of annoying, but not really creating really great chances. They did have two of them. One goal that was disallowed, but it was just passing the ball around, wearing down the opposition, and Leicester was just letting them do whatever they wanted with the ball. Second half, Leicester woke up, like I said, but by then Arsenal was just managing the game. Eddie Nketiah came in, so is Thomas Partey. Bukayo Saka was not the influential player that he has been this year, but he managed it almost. He and Odegaard really went spectacular. They did what they were supposed to do, what they had to do. More so Bukayo Saka than Martin Odegaard. Odegaard was a little bit lost, a little bit absent, a little bit not there. I was not surprised that he was replaced by Thomas Partey in the second half. Bukayo Saka played a little bit, let's say, played a good game. It was not brilliant, but it was a good game, enough for them to have the victory. Granit Xhaka, of course, in that midfield, making sure everything smooths out. So what does that mean for Arsenal now? Arsenal says stay number one with 2 points. I believe the next game is Wednesday against Everton. If Arsenal can, get that win and get that 5-point cushion, that would be something they would need. That would be super helpful for them going forward, because City doesn't seem like they're trying to let it go. City seems like they're turning on the engine, especially today, the way they dismantle their opponent. But yeah, Arsenal really have all the card in hand. They just need to make sure they defeated Everton. It's not going to be easy. Everton is climbing the ladder. They're 18th now. They're not completely clear of the relegation, but they're out there. They are there. And they're fighting for their survival in Premier League. So it's not just going to be a team everybody can just come in and walk all over. They haven't thrown the towel yet. So it's going to be a dogfight with Everton. But Arsenal has to do what they have to do in order to get that 5-point cushion. Because City is coming. And not just City. Even Manchester United is coming. I know they didn't play today because they're facing Newcastle in the cup. But yeah, now they have one game in hand. They can see coming. They can see what's coming for them. But yeah, Arsenal, all in all, today they did the job. Solid performance. I'm gonna give it a solid 6.5 out of 10 game, maybe 6 out of 10. But it doesn't matter at this particular time of the year. What matters is, did you get the 3 point? And Arsenal did get the 3 point to keep Manchester City at relatively arm's length. There's only 2 points. They're really going to be at arm's length if they win their game in hand. Then we're going to talk about arm's length. For now, let's say elbow length. They're keeping Manchester City at elbow length as of right now. All right, next up, Manchester City faces Bournemouth. Man City, easy win 4-1. Could have been worse for Bournemouth. I think they hung in there. They did their best. I mean, that's the team that struggling to score. Bournemouth is struggling to score this season. They're 19th in the table, so they, relegation table team in Manchester City beating them 4-1 at home is not a surprise to anyone. Yeah, City, William Havard scored, Erling Haaland, Phil Foden, and Bentham scored an own goal for Manchester City. So, yeah, what's it telling me for City? City is just preparing. City is still, at this particular time, playing two tables, Champions League and the Premier League. That could be a blessing for Arsenal if they keep playing, on those two objective. But in Premier League, it seems like City's turning on the engine, really. It looked like it today. It looked like they were trying to prove a point. I was surprised it was only 4-1. I thought they were going to get 7 because, we've seen that before, dropping 6 or 7. I thought they were going to come and make a huge statement. This win is also a statement, but it could have been worse, as I say. Yeah, Manchester City next game will be Saturday against Newcastle. That will be a determining game, especially for Newcastle. Newcastle is kind of dropping out of the top 4. They're 5th on the outside looking in, 41 points. If Newcastle can upset City, it's not going to be an easy task. They're going to play at the 80-yard. And like I say, City's turning on the engine. But if Newcastle can upset them or get a draw, which I don't see happen, that could be a very good news for Arsenal. So yeah, that's really what it is. Arsenal and City are going to go neck to neck, and Manchester United is going to be creeping in, as you previously say. And then on that same Saturday, that will be April 3rd, we're also going to have Leicester City playing Southampton, Brighton playing West Ham, Aston Villa playing Crystal Palace, Wolves playing Tottenham, Arsenal, Bournemouth. That's the reverse fixture. So City were able to beat Bournemouth today. Arsenal, it will behoove them to defeat Everton on Wednesday and Bournemouth on Saturday. Also, we're gonna have Chelsea facing Leeds United, and like I say, Man City and Newcastle. Yeah, Liverpool also played today. I'm not gonna touch too much on that game. 0-0 against Crystal Palace. I mean, at this point, Liverpool, they still have the good thing is they still have a chance to make it top 4. But yeah, they dropped the ball today. Yeah, other than that, we had action in La Liga. Real Madrid, the world champion, the club world champion, played against the nemesis in the city of Madrid, Atletico, and the game finished 1-1. Not the most entertaining game. Atletico was really disciplined. I'll say they didn't offer anything really. First half, as far as like counter attack, you can tell they were trying to stay organized and counter attack, but they didn't really do that they didn't master that in the first half. It was kind of like, yeah, all Real Madrid. Not that Real Madrid was dominating, because Real Madrid rarely dominated games right now. They just happen to win games even without dominating. But today, they were better than Atletico Madrid in the first half as far as ball movement. They weren't threatening, but at least as far as ball movement in the first half, they kind of had the better of Atletico Madrid. But 1-1, Jose Jimenez scored 78th, and then Real Madrid equalized like 7 minutes later by Munoz. Atletico had a red card. Of course, Real Madrid seems to always get lucky. The opponent always get a red card, or something always happen, or they always get lucky. But sometimes you create your luck. Sometimes the luck just follows you. Real Madrid was able to get a point out of this, but in the grand scheme of things, to be honest, if I'm going to be honest, it doesn't look good for them. They had to win this game. Real Madrid really had to win this game because now they're 7 points behind Barcelona, and Barcelona hasn't played yet. If Barcelona win the next game, which is going to be against Almeria this Sunday, should be a win. Again, football is football, but it should be a win for Barcelona. If Barcelona wins against Almeria, especially after losing the Europa League against Manchester United, they will be 10 points clear. And 10 points in the 23rd match day, it's not impossible to come back, but it's starting to look a little bit like it might be a one-horse race. But we're not there yet. Barcelona hasn't beaten Almeria, and there's still plenty of game. But yeah, Atletico Madrid held their nemesis to 1-1 at the Santiago Bernabeu. Diego Simeone's men, I think, it kind of felt like they came not to lose this game. They came for a 1 point. Almost like in their math that they were doing in the beginning of the season or this past week, they figured this game against Real Madrid in Bernabeu, 1 point is good enough for us. And it looks like that's what they came to get, and they got it because Yannick Ferreira Carrasco was basically playing on the left like a defender. Like he was way too deep to be influential in the first half. It was painful to see him struggling to come back because he had to come from all the way back over here to do counter attack. Yeah, that's kind of too much to ask for a winger, especially an attacking player like Ferreira Carrasco, who has good heart, who wants to do the good thing, but that's just too much to ask for him. Like I say, Atletico and Real Madrid 1-1. Barcelona plays Almeria, and if they win, they will be 10-point clear. It's not good news for Real Madrid if Barcelona go 10-point clear. But other than that, this Sunday, we're also going to have Athletic Bilbao play Girona, Celta Vigo play Valladolid, Sevilla playing Osasuna. We also had today Valencia had played against Sociedad. Valencia won, Sociedad 1-0. We also had Cadiz winning 1-0 against Real Vallecano, and Espanyol Barcelona defeating Real Mallorca 2-1. Martin Braithwaite had a brace for Espanyol Barcelona. That's it for La Liga. The tables are still the same. Barcelona first, Real Madrid second, Sociedad third, Atletico Madrid fourth. Up next, La Ligue 1. In France, we had 2 games today. This Saturday, we had Montpellier and Racing Club de Lens 1-1. Mawassa scored for Montpellier, and Angelos Fulgini scored for at the 4th minute for Lens. Then we had Olympique Lyonnais playing Angers. Lyon winning 3-1 away home. That's a really good win. Silva scored for Angers. Thiago Mendes, Amin Sarr, and Barcola scored for Olympique Lyonnais. So Lyon is kind of too far away to be talking Europe right now. Lyon still 8th on the table, 38 points, and they're chasing in place. Like if they're chasing top 3 for the Champions League, they're chasing Monaco with 50 points. So I'm not gonna discuss Olympique Lyonnais' chance to making Champions League right now because it doesn't seem like they're even playing for that at the moment. This Sunday, we have the rest of the action on La Ligue 1. We have Lorient playing Auxerre, Nantes playing Stade Rennais, Clermont-Ferrand playing Strasbourg, Reims, Toulouse, Ajaccio 3, Monaco, Nice, and especially Olympique Marseille, Paris Saint-Germain. And that's the game of the day. And that's the main event in France, Le Classique. Marseille finally went over the hump and defeating PSG. The first win at home against PSG in the Cup since 2011. So now are they going to beat PSG back to back? Because Paris is going back to the Velodrome after they lost a couple of weeks ago. Paris is coming with a team, a lot of injuries in the Parisian side. A lot, Hakimi, Nuno Mendes, Neymar. A lot of them are not going to play, injury. But Mbappe is going to be there. I believe Messi should be there. So I think Nuno Mendes might be good enough to be there. I heard from the French news that Nordi Mukiele might be good enough to at least be on the bench, if not start the game. From what I read the Parisian paper this morning, they try the youngster Zaire Emery as a right back in case they need it, because Hakimi and Mukiele are injured. So the right side is out. And then Nuno Mendes, the left side, is out. He might be able to play, but he's injured. Juan Bernat probably going to start, or at least going to play. And then, like I say, midfielder decimated. And then Neymar too. But should be no excuse. If you have Mbappe and Messi, technically, even if you put some plumbers or some journalists, you should be able to beat Marseille, especially after they did to you a couple of weeks ago. So that the classic this Sunday, main event, Paris still first on the table, 5-point clear of Marseille. If Marseille wins, now we are the dogfight. Because if Marseille win, Marseille will come back to 2 point only to PSG. And now you're going to start smelling like, hey, something is cooking in Ligue 1. Can Marseille do this year? Can Igor Tudor's men pull this off? This is the answer the Marseille fans are waiting for. Beating PSG in the cup is one thing, you're chasing a trophy. But in Ligue 1, can you upset the card and go get the first spot at the end of the season? That's what the Olympique Marseille fans are waiting for. I know they're going to celebrate the coupe if they win it. Still have to win it though. But they really want to lift that Ligue 1 trophy and rub it into the Parisian nose. It's been a while since they won the league, Marseille has. Paris, They own the league for years now. It would be a disappointment if they don't win it. Still too far away to determine. But yeah, 5 point between the two. If Marseille wins, come back to 2 point. If Paris win, they go to 8 point, and it will be pretty much Paris won the league because I don't see Paris dropping that many more points after this, especially if things doesn't go their way in the Champions League facing Bayern Munich on March 8th, I believe. That's about it for all the action today, and PSG and Marseille playing tomorrow. Of course, I'll get back with you guys after all the games are playing on Sunday. We're going to talk post-game PSG Marseille. We're going to talk Barcelona Almeria. We're going to talk Premier League actions. And yeah, I will see you on the next one.